Okay, I want to thank everybody for coming out today. The title of the lesson, is called Work Hard, Stay Humble. We did this before Kendrick Lamar. Let me put that out there. Work hard, stay humble. Introduction. Good morning and welcome to another Sabbath day lesson. We must remember the commandments of the Lord pertaining to the Sabbath day. Exodus 20, 8 through 11. Exodus 20, 8 through 11. You can read that for us, man.
Exodus chapter 20, verse 8. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work. But the 7th day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. In it thou shalt not do any work, thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservant, or thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates. For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, the sea, and all that in them is, and rested the 7th day. Wherefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it.
All right, so this is an important day. The Lord blessed this day, made it holy, he hallowed it. So we must remember the commandments of the Lord pertaining to the Sabbath day, to remember the Sabbath day, the 7th day, to keep it holy. Today's lesson is regarding how we must deal with the daily grind of working hard towards salvation and daily goals and staying humble in the process. We know how easy it is to get the big head and forget where we came from. Buckle up, get ready for another Sabbath lesson. So if you look up the definition of humble, it says having or showing a modest or low estimate, so to be a state of one's own importance. So just being modest. It's not about me and how good you are. It's about who gave us what we have, our talent, our skill, and that's the Most High. So the first part of the lesson, we're gonna read verses pertaining to humility, meaning being humble. And the second part, these scriptures down here, is gonna be focusing on working hard. So once again, work hard, stay humble. We'll start with Leviticus chapter 26, verse 40 through 42. It says, God will forgive us if we humble ourselves and confess our wrongdoing. Leviticus 26, 40 through 42.
Leviticus 26, verse 40. If they shall confess their iniquity and the iniquity of their fathers with their trespass which they have trespassed against me, and that also they have walked contrary unto me, and that I also have walked contrary unto them, and have brought them into the land of their enemies, if then their uncircumcised hearts be humbled, and they then accept of the punishment of their iniquity, then will I remember my covenant with Jacob, and also my covenant with Isaac, and also my covenant with Abraham will I remember, and I will remember the land.
So the Most High is first saying we have to confess our iniquity. What is iniquity, y'all?
Sin.
Exactly. We got to confess our sins, our wrongdoings that we did toward the Lord. He say, and the iniquity of their fathers. Who are our fathers?
The Israelites, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob.
Us as a whole, the ones that came before us, our relatives. Because the only reason why we in this lower state because the one before us was doing wrong. So we got to confess our wrongdoings and the wrongdoings of our forefathers before us. It says their trespass, which they trespassed against me. Meaning we sinned against the Most High. We didn't do what he said do. And that also they have walked contrary unto me. Meaning the do's and don'ts that he gave to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And the ones before that, we walked contrary. Meaning we wanted to do our own thing. So we got to confess that. And that I also walk contrary unto them. So if we get out of line with the Most High get out of line with us. He started walking contrary to us. And he said he had brought them into the land of their enemies, which we is in today, in the land of our enemies. Say, if then their uncircumcised hearts be humble, meaning if we humble ourselves by admitting that we out of line and start doing the right thing, he said, then we got to accept the punishment of our iniquity. So we got to remember this, man. We ain't in this land just to be living it up and having a good time. We actually here to be punished. Now, ain't nothing wrong with, it's a season for everything, but we got to remember the main picture. That this ain't heaven, man. This ain't the place we want to be. So we got to humble ourselves and accept the punishment, meaning it's going to be a hard time coming. Because before we knew this word, we was walking contrary to the Most High. So you might have some bad come your way. You're going to have to suffer for it. But that ain't the only thing that's going to happen. Good can going to happen as well. 42, he says, then I remember the covenant of Jacob and the covenant of Isaac and the covenant of Abraham, and I will remember them. And I will remember the land. Meaning he's going to send us back to our own land. We're going to prosper. We're going to be on top. That was 40 through 42. We're going to go to Deuteronomy chapter 8, 1 through 3. The process of humility is painful, but it must be done. Deuteronomy 8, 1 through 3. Moses got the laws from Christ, who got it from the Most High, in Deuteronomy. So Deuteronomy 8, 1 through 3.
Deuteronomy chapter 8, verse 1. All the commandments which I command thee this day shall ye observe to do.
Some of them?
All the commandments which I command thee this day shall ye observe to do, that ye may live and multiply and go in and possess the land which the Lord sware unto your fathers.
Where is the land the Lord sware to our fathers?
Heaven. Israel.
Israel,
Oh,
which you call heaven once we get there. So he said we got to do all the law. We didn't do all the laws, so he kicked us out of the land. We did some of them and then started adding what the pagans do. We tried to mix it up. That's like Christianity. Christianity got some of the laws in there, but what it also got in there? Name some other stuff
Holidays.
They got. False holidays. What else?
Yeah, false.
What else is tied into Christianity?
Sunday worship.
Sunday worship. That's the first day of the week. We just read the 7th day. What else is an example? Cross. That ain't nowhere.
Idols.
What else?
Like she said, the idols.
Yeah, idols, false idols. But it do got some of the laws in Christianity. But like I say, it ain't all the laws. We start tying in other things with it. So it says to observe, to do, that ye may live and multiply and go in and possess the land which the Lord swore to our fathers. Verse 2.
Verse 2. And thou shalt remember all the way which the Lord thy God led thee these 40 years in the wilderness, to humble thee.
Let's click on humble. The idea of looking down, to depress literally or figuratively, to humble, to hurt, to ravage, to submit, self weaken. So to not get the big head. And that was the 40, y'all remember the story that for 40 years they was wandering around in the wilderness? He said he did that to humble them, because they was in there starting to complain and to murmur and stuff. So to humble thee, and what else?
And to prove thee, to know what was in thine heart, whether thou wouldest keep his commandments or no.
That's the same thing he doing us while we in America. We over here in this land to humble us, to prove us, to try us, to test us, so we can know what's in our mind. To see if we gonna keep these commandments or not. And if we do, we gonna go back into the land, the ones that do.
Verse 3. And he humbled thee, and suffered thee to hunger, and fed thee with manna, which thou knewest not, neither did thy fathers know, that he might make thee know that man doth not live by bread only, but by every word that proceeds from the mouth of the Lord doth man live.
So when they was complaining about how they was eating good in Egypt, they didn't have nothing to eat. That was what they was saying. But the Lord made manna, which is food from heaven, fall out the sky. He said the food that their fathers knew. And he said that he let them do that because to let you know that man don't live by bread only, but by every word that proceed out of the mouth of the Lord do man live. So let's keep. It ain't food and water don't keep you alive. This word keep you alive. I'm going to Deuteronomy 8, 16 through 20. Same chapter.
16 through 20. Deuteronomy chapter 8, verse 16. Who fed thee in the wilderness with manna, which thy fathers knew not, that he might humble thee, and that he might prove thee, to do thee good at thy latter end. And thou say in thine heart, my power and the might of mine hand have gotten me this wealth.
And that's what a lot of us do today. We say, my power and the might of mine hand got me this wealth today. But who really gave us all things?
God.
The Most High. Don't y'all see some? Yeah, God. He said, you right. Y'all see how when even people that don't keep the laws, they'll say that right after they get an accomplishment, right? I want to thank God for they get on the stage or get an award. So we got it. They got that part right. They might not be keeping the laws, but they know where their power and their strength come from. So we got to remember that and keep that. Verse 18.
Verse 18. But thou shalt remember the Lord thy God, for it is he that giveth thee power to get wealth, that he may establish his covenant which he sware unto thy fathers, as it is this day.
So that same covenant about the land, also in the covenant, if you do right, you'll prosper among all people, right? If you keep his laws. So he said it was the Lord thy God that gave you this power to get wealth. 19.
And it shall be, if thou do at all forget the Lord thy God, and walk after other gods, and serve them, and worship them, I testify against you this day that ye shall surely perish.
What is perish?
Die.
And that's what's happening to us. We ain't walking in the ways of the Lord. We serving other gods. Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal. If you killing and stealing, you worshiping a false god. We worshiping them. We worshiping money.
Verse 20. As the nations which the Lord destroyed before your face, so shall ye perish, because ye would not be obedient unto the voice of the Lord your God.
So the Lord destroyed many kingdoms and many lands because they was doing wickedness in there. And he warned us and said, if we do the same, your end, your fate gonna be the same. And that's what's happening right now. We're being destroyed. It's a remnant of us trying to get it right and doing what's right. But the majority of our people, they doing a couple of laws and mixing in other stuff. And they perish by the wayside. So we're going to read about a king named Ahab of Samaria. Said he's going to humble himself and God going to spare his life. 1 Kings chapter 21. We ain't going to read all of it. This is when we used to read a lot. Well, we still read a lot, but We're gonna start with verse 1.
1 Kings 21. The book of 1 Kings chapter 21. And it came to pass after these things that Naboth the Jezreelite had a vineyard, which was in Jezreel, hard by the palace of Ahab king of Samaria. And Ahab spake unto Naboth, saying, Give me thy vineyard, that I may have it for a garden of herbs.
Let me break this down. Samaria was located in the northern kingdom. So this is during the split. Ahab was the king of the northern kingdom. So they had a man named Naboth who lived in the northern kingdom. They say he had a vineyard right by the king's palace. Just imagine the White House. The White House is right here, but somebody got a house right on the side of the White House, got a piece of land. So the king went up to this man saying, Give me thy vineyard, that I may have it for a garden of herbs. So he wanted this man possession. Because
it is near unto my house, and I will give thee for it a better vineyard than it. Or, if it seem good to thee, I will give thee the worth of it in money.
So he like, I'll pay you for this land, or I'll give you something better than this. I'm the king, I want this. Let me get that.
And Naboth said unto Ahab, The Lord forbidded me that I should give the inheritance of my fathers unto thee.
And that's a part of the law. Back then, if the fathers of this land had this land, that land was to be passed on to them. For example, if you have something, if y'all own this house, once you pass, who you supposed to get is your land to? Exactly. You pass it down for an inheritance. That's how you have things. And once you work hard and add on to this, once you pass, you give it to your kid. And guess what? Your kid gonna have all of this stuff, and it continue on. So he said, the Lord forbidden me that I should give the inheritance of my fathers unto you. Meaning you an Israelite, but you ain't a part of my
family.
Inner family. This is my kid's inheritance that I'm supposed to pass down. Because somebody probably passed it down to him.
Verse 4. And Ahab came into his house heavy and displeased because of the word which Naboth the Jezreelite had spoken to him.
Who is Ahab again, y'all? I'm trying to
The northern king.
So he said he was what?
He went into his house heavy and displeased because of the word which Naboth the Jezreelite had spoken to him. For he had said, I will not give thee the inheritance of my fathers.
Meaning his fathers had that land.
And he laid him down upon his bed and turned away his face and would eat no bread.
So this man is the king of all the northern tribe. He got everything damn near in the world. Now he depressed and sad because of what?
That one man.
Because this man don't want to sell him this vineyard. Y'all think that's right?
Mm-hmm.
He said he didn't want to eat what?
Bread.
No bread, meaning what?
He doesn't want
Yeah, he don't even want to eat no food. Y'all know how it is you get depressed. And we done been depressed over something in the grand scheme of things. That's minor, man. Verse 5.
Verse 5. But Jezebel his wife came to him and said unto him, Why is thy spirit so sad that thou eatest no bread?
What's her name?
Jezebel.
Y'all heard of that name before? Mm-hmm. So we're going to find out if was she a good or bad woman. So she want to know what's going on. Why you ain't all depressed? You know how you can tell, look at somebody they all down.
And he said unto her, Because I spake unto Naboth the Jezreelite, and said unto him, Give me thy vineyard for money, or else if it please thee, I will give thee another vineyard for it. And he answered, I will not give thee my vineyard. And Jezebel his wife said unto him, Dost thou now govern the kingdom of Israel?
Ain't you the king of Israel?
Arise and eat bread, and let thine heart be merry. I will give thee the vineyard of Naboth the Jezreel.
I'm going to go down there and get this vineyard from him. See, you know how somebody is. That's like you see the president all sad and depressed because he can't get his way. And somebody looking like, ain't you the president? I'm going to go down there and get it. You the president. Watch this. Watch me make it happen.
Verse 8. So she wrote letters in Ahab's name and sealed them with his seal, and sent the letters unto the elders and to the nobles that were in his city, dwelling with Naboth.
So she forged his signature. We talked about the king got a ring with an insignia on it. It's like a stamp. Y'all seen them, you go to the courthouse and they got something they stamped with it and they got an official stick. Yeah. They used to do that with rings. And they wrote letters to the elders and all the nobles of the city, dwelling with Naboth.
Verse 9. And she wrote in the letter, saying, Proclaim a fast, and set Naboth on high among the people, and set 2 men, sons of Belial, before him, to bear witness against him.
Now the sons of Belial, they ain't really people. There ain't no person named Belial. Every time you see Belial or Belial, however you say it, you remember we had that? That mean wicked people. That's what that means. You remember that, huh?
Who's that?
I wanted
Oh, evil.
So the sons of evil, the sons of wicked.
They people that was keeping the commandments and people that wasn't keeping the commandments, they would call them the sons of Belial. So she wrote letters saying, proclaim a fast and set Naboth high among the people. Meaning it's going to be like some kind of feast, and put him in the best chair. And she set 2 evil men before him to do what?
To bear witness against him, saying, Thou didst blaspheme God and the king, and then carry him out and stone him that he may die.
So they going to set him up, lie on him, saying that he blasphemed God. What does blaspheme mean?
Like word against the Lord.
Oh, curse. That's messed up.
So she wanted him to lie. How did he blaspheme God? He did exactly what God told him to do. Don't give your land, pass it down for the earth. So she gonna sit up here and lie and say he blasphemed God and the king. And then they would have carried him out and stoned him that he may what, y'all?
Die.
That he died.
That's messed up.
All this over what?
Over some land.
Over some land. This is the king. He got everything.
So she wrote letters to who? To the men in the city?
All the noblemen and the elders of the city. Who would be the elders and the noblemen of the city today?
The high priest. Oh, no.
No, like the mayor.
The mayor, the governors,
Oh.
the community leaders.
I thought you were going to ask.
Whoever in a position of authority. If we had in our neighborhood some man that everybody reverenced or looked up to, and he made sure things, the police, whoever can make it happen. So we're gonna skip down. I'm gonna read 13. And there came in 2 men, children of Belial, and set before him, and the men of Belial witnessed against him, even against Naboth, in the presence of the people, saying, Naboth did blaspheme God and the king. Then they carried him forth out of the city, and stoned him with stones, and he died. Then they said to Jezebel, saying, Naboth is stoned and is dead. And it came to pass, when Jezebel heard that Naboth was stoned and was dead, that Jezebel said unto Ahab, Rise, take possession of the vineyard of Naboth, the Jezreelite, which he refused to give thee for money. For Naboth is not alive, but dead. So basically, all this was done to get the land. They carried it out. This wicked lady, and y'all know what the name Jezebel in the Bible is referring to. A wicked lady. They got women. A lot of stuff behind the scenes. I'm not blasting women. I'm just saying, they got weak men out here sitting around depressed and crying, and a woman got the strength to make something happen behind the scenes. Like she gonna actually come up with the plan or the plot to make it happen. John the Baptist got beheaded.
Oh yeah, because of that lady.
Yeah.
The king's daughter.
Yeah, the king's wife, daughter said she was dancing for the king, and the king said, I want to do anything for you. What you want me to do? She said, I want the head of John the Baptist on the plate. Now he's sad with his head down, but he made a promise, so he had to kill her. So if y'all don't name y'all kids Jezebel. It's a terrible name according to the Bible.
Terrible person.
So we're gonna read about the prophet Elijah, verse 17.
Verse 17. And the word of the Lord came to Elijah the Tishbite, saying, Arise, go down to meet Ahab king of Israel, which is in Samaria. Behold, he is in the vineyard of Naboth, whether he has gone down to possess it.
Elijah is a what?
Prophet.
He's a prophet in the Bible.
Yeah, I got it.
So it say the word of the Lord say, go down there and meet King Ahab. I'm about to tell you what to say to him. 19.
And thou shalt speak unto him, saying, Thus saith the Lord, Hast thou killed and also taken possession? And thou shalt speak unto him, saying, Thus saith the Lord, In the place where dogs lick the blood of Naboth, shall dogs lick thy blood, even thine.
So you done killed this man for no reason over this land? You say the same place where the dogs are licking the blood of Naboth, meaning when you die, the blood drained and these animals can't lick the blood. Say these dogs gonna lick your blood for that, since you did wrong. This is what the Lord told Elijah to go tell the king. 20.
And Ahab said to Elijah, Hast thou found me, O mine enemy? And he answered, I have found it, because thou hast sold thyself to work evil in the sight of the Lord.
The king called Elijah my enemy. Because he know the prophet is the only one ain't scared enough to tell the king straight to their face what time it is. He said, yeah, I found you because you sold yourself to do evil in the sight of the Lord. 21.
Behold, I will bring evil upon thee, and will take away thy posterity, and will cut off from Ahab him that pisseth against the wall, and him that is shut up and left in Israel.
So he's saying, hey, your kingdom is about to get shut off. And he that piss against the wall. Men piss on the wall. Meaning that your blood, your male bloodline after you. I'm gonna cut, because if the kingdom end, who's supposed to lead? His son, right? So he said, I'm cutting you off and the men in your bloodline after you. 22.
And will make thine house like the house of Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, and like the house of Baasha, the son of Ahijah.
These are other wicked Israelites. Say, I'm going to make the house mean what about?
Your family.
Say it again for him.
Your family.
It's your family. See, I'm going to make your family like the other wicked Israelites that are out here doing wicked. I'm going to cut you off. For the what?
For the provocation wherewith thou hast provoked me to anger, and made Israel to sin. And Jezebel also spake the Lord, saying, The dog shall eat Jezebel by the wall of Jezreel.
So what's going to happen to Jezebel, the lady that plotted it all?
She gonna die.
She going to die too.
Him that dieth of Ahab in the city, the dog shall eat. And him that dieth in the field shall the fowls of the air eat. But there was none like unto Ahab, which did sell himself to work wickedness in the sight of the Lord, whom Jezebel his wife stirred up.
What else he did? 26.
And he did very abominably in following idols.
So he also, it ain't the only thing he did. He was worshiping false idols too.
According to all things, as did the Amorites, whom the Lord cast out before the children of Israel.
He was doing like these other nations that was scattered around Israel, who the Lord commanded us to kill, but we kept alive.
And it came to pass when Ahab heard those words, that he rent his clothes and put sackcloth upon his flesh, and fasted, and lay in sackcloth and went softly.
So he was very, very sad when when Elijah told him the judgment for doing what he did. He rent his clothes, meaning he ripped his clothes, he put sackcloth on his flesh, and he fasted. And the sister been asking us to fast, because when you fast, you basically, you know how serious the situation is, and you don't want to eat or drink. You depriving yourself of these bare necessities. And he laid sackcloth and he went softly. He didn't say, I'm the king, man, forget you, Elijah. I got the power to kill you right now on the spot. Nah, he took what he said seriously, man. And he went softly. So 28.
And the word of the Lord came to Elijah the Tishbite, saying, seest thou how Ahab humbleth himself before me?
So the word of the Lord said, you see how he humbled himself when he heard that bad news?
Because he humbleth himself before me, I will not bring the evil in his days, but in his son's days will I bring the evil upon his house.
So I'm going to let that curse pass him while he's living right now. Yeah. But his son gonna have to go through it. Yeah. Same way Solomon had to go through it because of some wickedness David did. So even though you killed that man was a killer. Paul was a killer in the Bible. If you humble yourself, meaning you realize the Lord ain't playing, you no longer do that, you change, the Lord will spare you. But guess what? Sons are going through it. We going through it today. We just read the verse how it said, if we confess our sins and the sins of our forefathers, then the Lord will spare us. I know it was a long one, but we're going to have to skip some. This is all you know. So hold on. Kings chapter 2 verse, 2 Kings chapter 22. We're going to skip around. Can't read the whole chapter. Okay, read just 1 through 3 right quick.
2 Kings chapter 22, verse 1.
Hold on, let me give a backdrop. Good kings was reigning, wicked kings was reigning. Good kings reigning, wicked kings reigning. It's like y'all know how it's a conquest to be who. Let's say we all in a row. I'm the oldest man. He the second oldest. Imagine if all of us wanted my spot. So I would die, he would be next. Then you would try to kill him. Then you would try to kill him. It was a lot of battle to be king. Oh. So we had a point where this king is what?
8.
Read that, man.
Josiah was 8 years old when he began to reign. And he reigned 31 years in Jerusalem. And his mother's name was Jedidah, the daughter of Adijah of Bascah.
So Josiah was 8 years old when he was king, because they killing all the kings, all this wickedness going on. He reigned 31 years, so he was 39.
And he did that which was right in the sight of the Lord, and walked in all the way of David his father, and turned not aside to the right hand or to the left.
So he was a good king.
And it came to pass in the 18th year of King Josiah, that the king sent Shaphan, the son of Azaliah, the son of Meshullam, the scribe, to the house of the Lord, saying,
we don't have, go down to 8.
Verse 8. And Hilkiah the high priest said unto Shaphan the scribe, I have found the book of the law in the house of the Lord. And Hilkiah gave the book to Shaphan, and he read.
So they did a lot of digging. He sent people out to repair the house, meaning repair the temple. Mm-hmm. So in the time of them repairing it, he said they found the book of the law. So they gave the book of the law to Shaphan to read it.
Why was it hidden to begin with?
Because when they
Good.
the wicked kings, what would they be doing? They would be building up idols and putting away. They was going. If you wicked, meaning you doing what? You going against what?
God.
The Bible. So you don't use it. You put it. It's just like people today. They wicked. So where they Bibles at? It's tucked somewhere, ducked out somewhere where they can't find it. Then like he said, the righteous ones come in, and now that they trying to repair it, they pick up the Bible and say, they start reading it. Oh, we've been doing this wrong. We've been doing this wrong. That's how they found out. So these wicked kings put it away, start setting up idols and groves and things like that. And that's what caused it to be destroyed.
And this happened in the 18th year of King Josiah. So 18 plus 8. That's how old he was when he sent them on a quest to build up the temple. And that's when they found the book of the law. So what we at? 9.
Verse 9. And Shaphan the scribe came to the king, and brought the king word again, and said, Thy servants have gathered the money that was found in the house, and have delivered it into the hand of them that do the work.
So they found money in there. Did he keep the money for his own? He delivered it to the hand of the people that's building up the temple and doing all this research.
That have the oversight of the house of the Lord. And Shaphan the scribe showed the king, saying, Hilkiah the priest hath delivered me a book. And Shaphan read it before the king. And it came to pass, when the king had heard the words of the book of the law, that he rent his clothes.
We just read somebody rent King Ahab rent his clothes, right? He rent his clothes when he heard that evil judgment. So this man heard the words of the book of the law and rent his clothes. Why you think he rent his clothes? He humbled himself.
What did they see? What were they reading? Well, I'm saying, when they picked up the book of the law, and he read it, and now, because when you rent your clothes, what does that mean? We just read it. That means, it means your emotion is what?
Yeah,
you're sad, right? You're heavy. Okay. Why would they be heaviness or sadness after reading this book?
Because they're doing
Exactly.
Thou shalt not eat pork. You look up. Put your own self in this shoe. How many years you been eating pork?
Like almost like.
Thou shalt honor the Sabbath day. Don't do no work.
You shouldn't be.
You looking into your mind. How many days you done went to work? How many days you done made the first day the holy day? He's looking back and he a king. So he thinking back all of the kingdom before him, the wickedness that they was all doing. He reading all of this stuff. He rent his clothes. He humbling himself. 12.
And the king commanded Hilkiah the priest, and Hakim the son of Shaphan, and Akbar the son of Micaiah, and Shaphan the scribe, and Ashiah, a servant of the king's son.
All his top dudes, he told them to come in and do what?
Go ye, inquire of the Lord for me, and for the people, and for all Judah, concerning the words of this book that is found.
So he's the king of the southern king. We just read about the northern king. So he said, bring all the people. We're going to read about this book.
For great is the wrath of the Lord that is kindled against us, because our fathers have not hearkened unto the words of this book.
He understood that the ones before him wasn't doing it. They was living contrary to this. And he knew that the wrath of the Lord is against us.
To do according unto all that which is written concerning us.
Because remember, you do, he going to set you high. You don't, it's a list of things that's going to happen. That's how y'all should have been when y'all first read this book. And seeing how out of line our race is. It should make sense why we going through what we going through, and nobody else is going through this type of stuff. Hold up.
I have a question. So he found the book of the law, which would be the Bible. If we're in like the first, like 1/4 of the Bible, what was he reading? Just the Torah? Okay.
Exactly.
Makes sense.
So he was only 20.
Because the laws is where?
In the first 5.
All the do's and don'ts is in the first 5. So it wasn't no first kings or second. Now they did have scribes.
Oh, but he was only 26 when he read this.
8 plus
18 the 18th year.
Exactly. He was 26 years old when he made that commandment.
So remember, so he was a child when he first started.
He was a king. He was the king by default, but he wasn't.
But he wasn't able to discern anything.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So he had to get older. They were repairing the house, trying to build up the temple again, and then they stumbled across the Bible. It's kind of like just in your regular life, if you want to compare it. As you get older, you start maturing, right? So as you start maturing, you're like, okay. You're like, I know it's got to be more to life than just going to work and just doing this, just doing that. It's something spiritual behind it, because we are spiritual people. And you start saying, all right, I want to start learning about the Bible. You start picking up the Bible and reading, seeing you've been doing all this stuff wrong, and the stuff that your parents taught you was wrong, and what their parents taught them was wrong. So now you like, dang, you humble yourself. You say, man, I got to change. I got to start keeping these laws of God. So
That's what we
get out of
doing
this
right
condition that we in. So that's what it was. But he was so young, like he said when he started out. But yeah, you ain't gonna get the, y'all got an advantage because y'all young and y'all teaching y'all the Bible at a young age. But even still, it's gonna take y'all years and years down the line for y'all to go through more experiences before y'all even actually start to put two and two together on some of these things. So yeah, he had to get old before. Think of Moses. There was a lot of examples in the Bible where men, they were grown men before they actually subdued to the Bible and start, learning the laws and keeping it. Everybody didn't get it at a young age. Some people born into it, some people not. So,
We really experiencing both. We was born in the evil. Now y'all kids being raised in the laws. Especially the little ones like with Monica, little one, and Sarai. She being born like it right in a good time.
Yeah.
Y'all going in like a process part of it. We 20, 30 years in wickedness and getting it right. But verse 16.
thus saith the Lord, behold, I will bring evil upon this place and upon the inhabitants thereof.
So even though he read all that good, he humbled himself. The Lord said, I'm going to bring evil on this place because, hey, if you sin, you got to go through. It don't just magically go away and everything be la la la. Nah, you've been doing wrong. They did wrong. So he said he's going to bring evil on his inhabitants.
Even all the words of the book which the king of Judah hath read, because they have forsaken me, and have burnt incense unto other gods.
Just like Ahab was doing, worshiping false God.
That they might provoke me to anger with all the works of their hands. Therefore my wrath shall be kindled against this place, and shall not be quenched.
The Lord's wrath is kindled against us today. Because we in the, what name some religion we into? Talking about our people.
Christianity.
Them the, bam, we can move on. Them the main two right there. 18.
Wait, I'm sorry, I have a question. But if he didn't know any better and he's just not learning, why would God send his wrath?
Guess what? We're going to keep reading. Because
Okay.
we just read what happened to Ahab. Elijah came down there to send bad news, right? But when he humbled himself, what happened?
He
didn't get
passed
it.
The
over.
Lord passed over. It didn't just go away, though. The nation's going to suffer, but he spared him. But 18.
But the king of Judah which sent you to inquire of the Lord, thus shall ye say to him, thus saith the Lord God of Israel, as touching the words which thou hast heard.
Hold on. So he said, regarding the whole nation and regarding all of y'all gonna pay it. But you tell this to the king, that 28-year-old king, you tell him this.
Verse 19, because thine heart was tender, and thou hast humbled thyself before the Lord, when thou heardest what I spake against this place, and against the inhabitants thereof, that they should become a desolation and a curse, and hast rent thy clothes, and wept before me. I also have heard thee, saith the Lord. Behold, therefore, I will gather thee unto thy fathers, and thou shalt be gathered into thy grave in peace.
What that mean?
Like you are.
Read 20 again, Phill. So because you humbled yourself, you rented your clothes, you cried.
You'll die in peace.
Read that again.
Behold, therefore, I will gather thee unto your fathers, and thou shalt be gathered into thy grave in peace.
So what that mean?
You'll die in peace.
What die in peace mean?
He'll get to go there.
Nope.
Oh.
He'll get to go to the promised land?
Nope, that ain't what he's saying. Don't y'all ain't never thought of that? What? Why the good do what? Why the good die young? Why this person ain't here today? Man, if we had him,
He ain't gotta see all
he ain't gotta suffer with y'all, man. I'm taking him out early. Cause when you're in your grave, you don't feel nothing, right? You just waiting on what?
God to come back.
To do what?
Or just save us.
To lift you up, give you, if you living right, to lift you up, give you your new body, ring and the key. So sometimes what? The more the subject. Not you. Yeah, I know you probably learned it too, but I know you gonna pick it up like this. Sometimes what?
He
You
does
got a
that.
spare one for the rest of the group.
Sometimes death is what? It's a good thing, man. Man, you don't want to suck. Look, he letting you know, man, I'm about to put black people, the Native Americans and Mexicans through hell. Yeah, they about to go to slavery. They're going to be eaten by, they're going to have to eat their own kids. They're going to have to be slaves. I'm about to literally send them through 400 years of hell. But you go sit in this grave and wait till the kingdom comes. You ain't got to be beaten in the back with whips and work in the field all day and serve these devils. So 20 again.
Behold, therefore, I will gather thee into thy fathers, and thou shalt be gathered into thy grave in peace. And thine eyes shall not see all the evil which I will bring upon this people.
Thy eyes shall not see all the evil that I'm about to do against y'all, your wicked family.
And they brought the king word again.
That's beautiful, my eyes. I ain't even gotta.
So he got it early to avoid all the curses.
He didn't have to see the destruction of Israel. So that should answer a lot of questions y'all might have. If you had a good aunt or a good uncle or a good grandmother that was a kind-hearted, nice person, and they died, and you like, why the Lord? People say that all the time. Why this nigga selling drugs all up and down the street, terrorizing the street, and this good man got took out early? He ain't got to deal with this day-to-day grind, this suffering, man. The Lord gonna restore he or her and bring them in the kingdom, man. This life is hard, man. Especially if you living right. This life will beat you down, man.
Then they say what HEX and died.
So read on your own.
Yeah, and the beautiful thing about it, it says read on your own spare time, 23. It's a very good chapter. What did you say?
Do you know what age he died at?
No, it didn't say that. But the other good point is, a prophet came and told him why he was gonna die. He literally knowing, look, you about to die. Cause he said, go tell all the people what's gonna happen. All y'all about to suffer, but the Lord gonna take you out early so you ain't gotta deal with this. Cause I'm about to sick these other nations on them. They about to go through slavery, they about to go through hell. Probably some good people before the Spaniards came, they probably died in their grave so they ain't have to go through that. Before they put us on these ships to come here, it might have been some good people that died so they ain't have to go through the slavery and all that type of stuff. But like I say, the good thing about it, this king was warm. Like most of us just died, we don't even know it. Like they're like, hey, because since you've been good, I'ma kill you, so you ain't even gotta deal with this madness. And explained it to him. So now he could just hang with his family, kiss them, enjoy whatever the last days until that time being when the Lord put him in the grave in peace, a peaceful death. So that was the humility part.
Never thought about that.
Some of y'all might be wicked. Not y'all, but y'all know some of y'all might be wicked. Humble yourself, and the Lord might spare you. This is serious. You remember when when I first went back home, when I found out about Christmas was wrong and I went over there and I tried to show you that, I ran up in my room, was crying because they ain't want to hear the Lord.
And you kicked my Legos.
I was mad, man. The point is, I took it seriously, man. I'm looking at the grand scheme of things. It ain't about me. It's just about all of us that had this moment with our family members.
Yeah.
Y'all crying inside or crying outside because they don't understand the severity of what we reading in this Bible. The Lord is doing the same thing to you. Look, I'm going to spare you. You humbled yourself. He's telling y'all that. If y'all went through that experience, I'm going to spare you because you know how serious this is. Even though you was one of the wickedest people that ever walked this earth. Doing all kind, me personally, doing all kind of crazy stuff. I'm going to spare you for humbling yourself. So remember the title of the lesson is what? Hard work, stay humble. We just looked over the humility part. We're going to read hard work. Genesis 41, 37 through 44. (37 through 44). Joseph rewarded for hard work and humility.
41. Genesis 41.
That's chapter 41. 36. 36.
Joseph is who?
Prophet.
Oh.
No, father.
One of the what?
Uh,
Sons of Israel. But his like Judah, Levi, Benjamin, they don't have one named Joseph. One of the 12 tribes ain't named Joseph, but he was one of the brothers, the sons of Israel. Why? His brothers sold him into Egypt, into slavery in Egypt.
oh yeah.
He became a mighty man in Egypt. So his possession came to his two sons, named Manasseh,
and
Ephraim.
Ephraim, yeah.
So Manasseh and Ephraim ain't brothers of Judah and Levi. They're their nephew. But he gave them, the Lord loved Joseph so much, he gave him basically two through his sons, his two sons. So we're going to read about Joseph, hard work and staying humble.
Genesis 41, verse 37. And the thing was good in the eyes of Pharaoh and in the eyes of all his servants. And Pharaoh said unto his servants, can we find such a one as this is?
Let me give a backdrop. Pharaoh had a dream. Excuse me, hold on, let me make sure. Yeah, Pharaoh had a dream. He wanted to know what the dream was. The wise men of Egypt couldn't tell him what the dream mean. Joseph told him what the dream meaning it's going to be a famine in the land. You need to store up food for 7 years for this hard time. So the Pharaoh heard it and was like, man, this dude is good. He said, is that what? Can we what?
Can we find such a one as this is? A man in whom the Spirit of God is?
Even Pharaoh knew the Spirit of God is in Joseph.
And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, for as much as God hath showed thee all this, there is none so discreet and wise as thou art.
So Pharaoh, Egypt was like America during that time, running everything. And he like, man, ain't nobody wise and discreet as you. He had a lot of wisdom. He was smart.
Thou shalt be over my house.
Let me explain a little more so it can make sense. Egypt was going into a famine. Imagine America, the gas, we running out of oil, the crops is being ruined. We don't know what to do. And this man give you a plan to devise to save Egypt, to save America, to put us back on top. Because we withering away. So this man, Joseph, gave him the advice that was so good that Pharaoh did what, verse 4?
Thou shalt be over my house. And according unto thy word shall all my people be ruled.
So according to whatever you say, the land gonna do. I'm setting you over everything, Joseph. And only in the throne, what?
Only in the throne will I be greater than thou.
So just because I'm the Pharaoh of Egypt, just because, that's the only reason why I'm gonna be greater than you. But on the cool, behind the scenes, you running everything.
And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, see, I have set thee over all the land of Egypt.
You gonna run everything, man.
And Pharaoh took off his ring from his hand and
We-
put it upon Joseph's hand.
What is the importance of the ring? We read earlier.
It stamps. It was a stamp.
Whatever somebody write, and they do what? No, what did you just say?
Oh, stamping.
And you stamp that on that letter, that's like what?
It's official.
It's official. Good, I was gonna say law, but that's even better. It's official. So the Pharaoh took off his ring and did what?
Put it on stamp.
And put it upon Joseph's hand.
So anything Joseph, what?
Stamps.
If he write anything down and stamp it, it's good, it's gold. He can say Israel is gonna rule half of Egypt. Bam. Because it's the Pharaoh's ring. You had a question?
Did Pharaoh know he was an Israelite?
Yeah, he knew. He knew he wasn't no Egyptian. He was sold into Egypt.
Okay.
Oh.
He was in jail. We're gonna go back a little bit. Before he went to jail, they had some kind of feast going on in Egypt. Joseph don't celebrate no feasts in Egypt, so he's sitting in the house. Pharaoh's wife came up to him trying to have sex with Joseph while everybody else going with the feast.
Yeah.
Joseph, the runs off. She took a piece of his clothes or whatever, gave it to the king and said Joseph tried to rape him.
I would have been like this.
To Pharaoh. So Pharaoh, now Joseph in jail. Our people be in jail, some of them ain't do nothing wrong over some same situation. Over rape, false charge. He ain't pouting in jail. He setting up stuff in jail, running the jail. He ended up running the jail. So the king had this dream. It was all up because of the Lord. Messed all his mind up. He don't know what it means. So the king sent this thing out saying, whoever can tell me what this dream means. Even the people in jail. So he ended up getting out of jail and being set to what?
Pharaoh.
Second in command of Pharaoh because of his wisdom, because of his right doing. Being humility, hard work, staying humble. Even if during bad time. Even when you're falsely accused by a lady that's the king's wife, the queen, now the king is setting you up on high. All this is the Lord's doing. The Lord has stirred people's mind to do stuff like this. So 42. I'm supposed to be reading the word. 44. So Pharaoh took off his ring from his hand, put it on Joseph's hand, and arrayed him in vestures of fine linen, meaning royal clothes of the king, and put a gold chain about his neck, and he made him to ride in the second chariot which he had. When y'all see the president in limos, who's the second one?
His wife?
Vice president.
Vice president.
I knew it. I was about to say it, but I thought I was.
So the last limo is the president. The second to last limo is the vice president.
Oh, I forgot.
So he was in the second chariot, which he had. And they cried before him. Meaning what?
Like,
Y'all
yeah.
see them when the president come and everybody had their flag?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, yeah. I had an argument.
They bowed the knee. This is the Egyptians, the other nations, bowed the knee and made him ruler all over the land of Egypt. Man, fresh out of jail. That ain't even the Egyptian running thing. Why? Because he kept the law.
And he humbled himself.
He was a good person. He did what was right. And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, I am Pharaoh, and without thee shall no man lift up his hand or foot in all the land of Egypt. So he said again, hey, I'm Pharaoh just because I'm Pharaoh. But no man gonna lift his hand or foot up in all the land of Egypt. So 1 Thessalonians chapter 4. 2 verses, 10 through 12. How to study. Thessalonians what? But what is the word Thessalonian? Thessalonica.
Thessalonica.
Just to let y'all. Oh yeah, you got that book.
Are you looking at Paul?
Yeah, but trying to. It's all blurred. There it goes. So when you read Thessalonians, that's where the Israelites were scattered. This is Italy. But these are the names. Excuse me, Italy over here. These are the names of the areas back then.
Why'd they change them?
Some they still named there.
Some people took up.
Athens is still Athens.
Take some
Oh, yeah, like
land,
Rome.
they changed it to their name.
Let me see what they call it today. Let's make Phill. It's still there. See, it's called Thessaloniki, city in Greece. So that was Greece.
Oh.
Just a city in Greece. So, verse 10. Let me make sure. How to study. And indeed, ye do it toward all the brethren which are in all of Macedonia. But we beseech you, brethren, that ye increase more and more, and that you study to be quiet, and to do your own business, and to work with your own hands, as we command you. So when you're at work, or when you're studying, or when you're building up the kingdom, you do what? You study to be what?
King. What?
To be quiet, man. What you need to learn right now. Don't be running your mouth, man. When you at work on the workplace, you know how some people.
Do your own business. Mind your business.
Mind your own business. Be quiet. You ain't gotta be everywhere and knowing everybody's business. We got our own. We got enough problems of our own, man. Working out our own salvation. And to work with your own hands. Meaning all of us got some kind of skill the Lord gave you. Use that skill. Something you can do. And something you can use for the kingdom. Corn, you know how to Photoshop. You should be doing all of these pictures and all of this type of stuff.
Okay.
I'm just saying. Everybody got a skill that they can bring to the table. Alicia, with her money management skill. I didn't ask her to do all of that stuff that she was doing. Thank God she got that skill. So we supposed to be reading 12 too.
It says, as we commanded you. Who is we?
This is who? Who is this? Who was talking to the Thessalonians?
Is it Paul?
Paul. I'm pretty sure it was him.
This is 1 Thessalonians chapter 1. Paul and Silvanus and Timotheus. These are the three people unto the church of the Thessalonians, which is in God the Father and in the Lord Jesus Christ. He started off the letter saying, grace be unto you and peace from God our Father and the Lord Jesus Christ.
Were they all disciples? Or just Paul?
These are the ones that was under Paul.
Okay.
It's more than 12 disciples out there.
Okay. Those are just the main ones.
Exactly. Those are the 12 that followed Christ everywhere he went.
So those are those.
Christ has now passed away during the time of 1 Thessalonians. So, as if anything, if a leader fall, who got to pick up the piece?
His son.
Yes.
The ones after him, the other Israelites after. If I go, y'all better, Philip better carry on. If once Philip passed, one of y'all better carry on. When y'all pass, somebody else gonna have to pick it. The work just don't end. You just don't put it away. So Paul is just picking up the piece, and he commanding them what to do. So 2 Thessalonians chapter 3. That was a good question. Who is the weak command? If you don't work, you don't eat. First Thessalonians chapter 3, 10 through 15. Work hard, stay humble. While you working hard, be quiet. Mind your own business. Use your skill, whatever the Lord gave you, to better the Israelites, to better our people. We could be making it's a huge market for Israelites right now. Did I buy this from Walmart? Did your shirt came from Walmart? Did your shirt come from Walmart? Who made these shirts? Some Israelite thought they using the skill the Lord gave them. Now they got the kingdom being built up, and the Lord blessing them. Now they prospering. They putting food on their table. It's a huge market out there for us, man. We don't have to go to the nations. We got skill. It's a lot of stuff. Your musical stuff you could be using, making holy music. So that's 2 Thessalonians chapter 3. For even when we were with you, who is the we? Paul, Sylvanus, and who was the third one? Timotheus, meaning Timothy. These are all just Greek names. He said, for even when we were with you, we commanded you that if any man would not work, neither should he eat. I put that on your, when you was cutting grass on Facebook. So you ain't gonna, look, none of y'all should just be sitting up in the house, eating up everything in the house. If you don't work, you don't eat. Y'all done heard that before. Now y'all know where this comes from. Y'all some able-bodied men in this house. Y'all should have a chore list. Y'all should be cutting the grass. Y'all should be sweeping and mopping. The job of the parents ain't to be just sitting around. Once you this baby's age, that's different. Once y'all old enough to help out, y'all should be helping out. You shouldn't have to treat y'all like a baby. And also if you don't work, meaning build up the kingdom, you ain't gonna eat. Y'all better find y'all skill, y'all craft, and learn how to use it for good.
That's funny because only our people really say that.
This is out the Bible.
I didn't know where that came
Yeah,
from.
you got a lot of other nations. They silks for them.
They got it made.
They grew up and not doing nothing, and they in high positions. That's how you know they're not children of God.
If you see something out of place, pick it up. Like, help out, man. Imagine if y'all got a household of 3 or 4 or 5. Imagine if only one person. Ain't no reason for a woman to just be sitting around slaving, doing everything, man. Why she gotta fold the clothes, do the dishes, fix the food, and gotta go to work? If you're an able-bodied person, man, help out, man. And teach your kids to do the same once y'all get old, at an early age. For even when we were with you, we commanded if any of you would not work, neither you should eat. Should he eat? For we hear that there are some which walk among you disorderly, work it not at all, But a what? But a busybody. What a busybody mean?
Like everywhere, up and going,
Doing everything but what?
working.
But doing the work. Sitting around gossiping at all the little hangout spots. Sitting, just drinking. What we do now is just drink, smoke, and chill. And talk. When what? Your kid's grades might be bad or something. Your kid barely can read. Got 12 years old, got a 4th grade reading up. But you out and about everywhere. At the concerts, at the mall. Just everywhere, man. That's why I say we all got our own problem. I mean, it's enough work at your own household for you to be out and doing whatever. Verse 12. Let me know when you want to start back, man. Verse 12. Not them that are such we command and exhort by our Lord Jesus Christ. Excuse me. Now them that are such we command and exhort by our Lord Jesus Christ, that with quietness they work and eat their own bread. You know, there's some people that when somebody cook, they always coming over to their house to get a plate.
Oh, yeah.
And these people already got kids. For example, if so they got Sarai here, you here, your little sister here. Imagine if every time y'all cook, I come over and eat. I'm taking food out of who mouth? The who though? The kids mouth. You a grown man. Go out and work so you can do what? Have money for what?
You buy your own.
For your own food. Take care of your own household. Now, if ain't nothing wrong with, let's say me and Monica, you wasn't here, we didn't have no kid, and somebody want to come over and hang and fellowship and eat. That's another thing. But if people got kids, man, you shouldn't be coming over every time you smell food. They had a sitcom like that. I forgot what show it was. Sometimes it was my, I smell like they show up right on time when they had Family Matters.
Oh,
Yeah, that you know, that type. How many kids was in that house? With a grandma and everything.
Police too. But that dude, he ain't had nothing.
The point is, man, grind, build up your own house, build up your own family, so you have your own bread, man. So we read the 15, I think. And we gonna stop at the. We got no time. It's just 7 minutes. But ye, brethren, do not be weary in well doing. So don't get tired of doing what's right. If any man obey not our word by this epistle, what is an epistle? By this letter, note that man, and have no company with him, that he may be ashamed. So look, y'all don't hang with people like that. Y'all know people that don't want to work, that want to depend on the government, that just come over when they smell food. It just give you examples. This other thing, note that man, mark that man, keep a good eye, and don't do what?
Like hang with
Exactly, don't hang with him. That he may be ashamed. That he finally get the idea. Like, man, don't nobody, y'all know how it is, don't nobody want to hang with me. It's something that he finally look in the mirror and see what he doing wrong, man. Because he ain't got no shame, obviously, right now.
Yeah.
He don't even realize what he doing is crazy. Yet count him not as an enemy, but admonish him as a brother. It's another thing. Don't cuss him out. Don't be an enemy unto him. But you admonish him as a brother when you do these things. It's a way you can say things to him. Acts chapter 18, 1 through 4. Teach the word, but do not forget the work for daily needs. Acts chapter 18, 1 through 4. Work hard, stay humble. After these, Acts chapter 18, verse 1. After these things, Paul departed from Athens and came to Corinth. We just seen that all on the map. Y'all remember what that was? Mm-hmm. And he found a certain Jew named Aquila. So he in Acts, right? The new chapter, right? These places ain't in Judea. But he said he went to Corinth and he found a certain Jew. It's proving that Acts is what? Talking about what?
Israel.
The scattered Israelites. They ain't got to say Israelites in the New Testament. They say thinking you will pick up who they is. But this verse, they just giving you clues who they are.
Yeah.
So they found a certain Jew named Aquila, born in Pontus.
Wait, doesn't the Bible have to like hide it a bit?
Yeah, because he ain't really, he wants you to think, he wants you to learn, man.
Yeah.
You gotta open your spiritual ear. That's why I say them who have an ear, let them hear.
Really, the book of Acts is, if you read the book of Acts, it gives you more understanding of the rest of Paul's writings.
So Pontus is in Turkey.
Because it's telling you the acts of Paul and Acts.
So a Jew named Aquila, born in Pontus, lately coming from Italy with his wife Priscilla, because that Claudia had commanded all Jews to depart from Rome. So this was a time in history where Claudius, the king of Rome, commanded all the Jews to leave Rome. And Paul came unto them. And because he was of the same craft, he abode with them. So this guy Priscilla was in the same work field as Paul. So Paul clicked up with him. And wrought, meaning and worked. So he came to them and they worked together. For their occupations were what? They were what?
Tent makers.
They were makers of tent. So now you know that Paul had what?
A job?
He had a job.
Yeah.
He ain't like the people of the day. Well, they do got some pastors that have a job. But a lot of them pastors do what? They pass the what around?
Oh, like that little. It's like a little plate.
They pass that plate around.
Yeah, and they get the money for themselves.
When the tithes and offerings supposed to be for the sick and the shut in and the widows and all that type of stuff. Now they pass the plate and they get they cut first. And then whatever left they pay for the building and all that stuff. Or for their own house and their car. How you think they get them cars and all that?
Oh yeah, true that.
Me and my mom just talked
So we learned that Paul did what? Paul said if you don't work, you don't eat. He saw this brother. Oh man, you make tents? Shoot, let's click up together. We gonna make tents. And he reasoned in the synagogue every Sabbath. So even though he had a job, when the Sabbath day came, what he did? He still went to church and preached. He persuaded the Jews, who would be what?
Us.
Yeah, and the Greeks. The other Israelites that were scattered in Greece. So that's deep, y'all. Supposed to be reading this? Yeah, 1 through 4.
No, that's fine.
So he had 2 jobs.
Oh yeah, we did.
Exactly. We all got 2 jobs, right?
Yes.
Phill got 2 jobs.
I got school.
Every Sabbath, what we do? We come to the Sabbath and reason and persuade us and the people online. Kids, y'all gonna have that job one day. Y'all women, y'all doing y'all part. So this is what real Christianity is about. Being a real Christian. These preachers should be passing that plate around for their daily need.
Yeah.
Paul had to work for his daily need. Now, if somebody want to give an offering, just gratitude, ain't nothing wrong with that. But you still got to work.
Yeah.
So we're going to go to Proverbs. Don't talk about it, be about it. Proverbs 12 and 11.
Oh, she called me.
She overwoke. What you did, man? Proverbs chapter 12, verse 11. Whoa! Excuse me. Proverbs 12 and 11. He that tilleth his land shall be satisfied with bread. What does tilleth the land mean?
Till.
What is till? Y'all kids don't, y'all that home body, y'all know what till?
Transgress.
I mean, like plow it, like with the shovel.
Oh, sir. Oh, it said transgress. My bad.
Till the land. What you gotta do with crops if you want them to grow?
You gotta like water
It's more than that.
something.
You gotta put seeds in it.
Yeah.
You gotta dig it. You gotta get that big plow it. It's a lot of hard work to make them crops go up. It's like plants. You seen people with nice gardens.
Yeah.
They be out there in the middle of the heat out there dealing with that stuff to make it grow. So exactly, fertilizer. He that tilleth his land shall be satisfied with bread. But he that followeth vain persons is void of understanding. So it's dealing with actual land. It's dealing with somebody that's working a 9 to 5, or just putting in hard work to provide. They're gonna see benefit. But it's also you that study this word night and day, finding this precept on that precept. So when the Sabbath day comes, it's all gonna fit together. You're gonna see bread. It's gonna open the eye. It's a double meaning. It's triple meaning sometimes in this Bible. If you come out here and just make this stuff lazy, ain't none of y'all gonna learn nothing really. But if you take the hard-earned time to put these lessons together and to show Ahab and Jezebel, and you're gonna see bread. You're gonna see. They gonna get it, man.
The bread is also what?
The word.
The word. So you're gonna be satisfied with the word you're putting in work. It's gonna make sense to you. You're gonna start getting to understand it.
But he that followeth vain persons
Is void of understanding.
What do you see in the church?
Like,
Do they have understanding of what we talking about?
no.
They void of understanding. Them persons is vain. I ain't saying this is just be bashing or just beating up on. We just stating what it is, what's going on in there, man. They got the drum sets going, the choir going, but we talking about understanding here.
Yeah.
Void of understanding. Supposed to be reading. That's it.
Yeah.
We're gonna go to 14. Proverbs 14:23.
In all labor, there is profit.
Proverbs 14:23. In all labor there is profit, but the talk of the lips tendeth only to penury.
In all labor, there's profit, meaning you work hard, you're gonna see a result. But the talk of the lips tended only to penury.
Poor. Poverty.
Meaning what? Remember what we always talked about being not being a hearer but being a doer of the word? Remember we talked about that in the previous lessons? We got more to do than just talk.
Imagine if somebody who go to work every day from 9 to 5. When payday come around, what's gonna happen?
He's gonna get money.
But if you sitting at home saying, man, I wish I had a job, I wish instead of going out there and make something happen, ain't nothing, you ain't gonna get nothing. Talking ain't, you don't talk about it, what?
Be
Even people that
Don't be
got,
about
even people that got a job. If your job, for example, at my job, they offer right now pretty much unlimited overtime. You come in whenever you want to. Now, so if the money you making ain't enough to pay some, it's more that you want. Maybe you're trying to save up for a car or for a house or whatever. But you don't never want to go in and put in extra hours to make that overtime. Guess what? Your lips just tended to penury. That's
the
it.
game on.
But guess what? Sometimes you gotta go sacrifice. And I know it's my off day. I'd rather be resting, but I'm gonna go in and put in at least about 6-7 hours. I ain't gonna work a full day. I'm gonna work at least half a day. Just put in some extra time.
I'm gonna have to sacrifice not seeing y'all for a minute.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna still be checking in. I ain't gonna be working on the road on a Saturday. I'm gonna be watching the videos on YouTube, but I gotta actually go out there. And the same thing regarding the word. We used to say all the time. We watching the videos of IUIC and the other members. Man, I wish they had a camp. This is years ago when they wasn't even here in Austin.
Oh yeah.
Man, I wish they was down here in Austin to teach the word. Man, we'll be living right. We'll be doing better.
But then we did it.
What we had to do?
We had to do it for ourselves.
Yeah, man, look. They got the same books we got right here, man. You got a brain. You a human being. Sit down and study this word. So we quit talking about it. We picked up the pieces ourselves.
So like you said, sometimes maybe you working, but maybe you're not putting in enough work. Maybe you gotta just, you're not just doing bare minimum just to get by. You're doing more to help your situation, whether it be in the word or whether it be in trying to satisfy and take care of your family.
Proverbs chapter 18, verse 9.
Proverbs chapter 18 and verse 9. He also that is slothful in his work is brother to him that is a great waster.
So if you're slothful in your work, I mean you second of kin to a great waste.
What does slothful mean?
Slow.
It's another word for it.
Lazy.
Oh, lazy.
Lazy.
Sloth.
Yeah, you slow to work, you lazy. How does a sloth work? How do they move? Like you said, they move slow. They just
Sleep all day.
They wait. They what's the word? Procrastinate.
Last minute.
Always waiting the last minute to
Show
do
up.
something.
Sloth.
Like you said,
Remember
late to work. That's a slothful man.
Zootopia, that sloth. at
Yeah.
DMV.
He was like, hi.
Somebody tell you to pick this up, you dragging your. Those little things will carry you on in life, man. And when you see somebody 5 years later that was like that, they gonna have this. They gonna be in the same position, man, compared to that person that grind. And that's the same way with the word, man. Can't be a sloth when it comes to the word.
Pick up that word and read. Don't put it off. I'm gonna wait till tomorrow. I'm gonna do this first.
I gotta start picking it up, man. Ecclesiastes 4 and 9. Work smart and there's power in numbers. Put a picture. Work smart. Ecclesiastes 4 and 9.
Ecclesiastes chapter 4, verse 9. Two are better than one, because they have a good reward for their labor.
Two are better than one, meaning what?
It's better to work together.
What I said that shouldn't be one woman doing what?
Oh, like
Oh.
working for the whole house. Yeah.
Why? Because 5 is better than one person. More can get done, right?
Yeah.
Same
Put
thing
them on
with me and Phill. He helping out with the workload. Same way with y'all should be helping. Y'all women should be coming together, help out with a workload in some kind of way. Y'all kids,
We went to Walmart.
yeah, y'all excuse me. Y'all did come together for the workload, and that was all for the Lord. Imagine if one woman had to come out her whole paycheck, or just one person had to come out their paycheck and do for all those people. It was much easier to help everybody out.
Even more than one family.
No, but we even getting there at the place, like one person just shopping for everything.
Exactly.
Together and did it
Cause we
together.
all got kids. Imagine if they had to do that and watch their kids and all that stuff.
And the boys even ordering the hoodies, it'd be better if they were together. So if people come with questions or pick on them, at least they're standing together.
Firm. It's one, as a unit. Two are better than one because they have a good reward for their labor. It means more is gonna be done when more than one person is out here working.
Y'all remember the story of Moses? How his father-in-law on that same subject, told him, you can't be judging all these matters by yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you gotta have some people to help you out to take care of the small matters. It's the same thing. He couldn't do it by himself, so he was like, yeah, you're right. Let me go ahead and set some people up, help me out during this time. That way, I'm not so stressed out about it all the time. I ain't wore out by the end of the week. Can't even, then I'm not a benefit to y'all anymore. So like I said, especially for y'all young boys, this is why we ask y'all to do stuff around the house. This is why y'all must do in the house and not be complaining. Don't be slothful about it. Somebody asks you to do something, do it right away. Don't wait till the last minute.
Just get this. Hold on, I get it. So it's John 5 through 18.
The book of John, chapter 5, starting at verse 5. And a certain man was there, which had an infirmity 38 years.
What is infirmity?
Like
A what? D word.
a disease.
So they had a man, he had a disease for 38 years.
And Jesus saw him lie and knew that he had been now a long time in that case. He saith unto him, wilt thou be made whole?
You want to be healed?
The imposed man answered him, Sir, I have no man, when the water is troubled, to put me into the pool.
I gotta explain the story. There's a sea that if you go into the sea, the minerals in the sea will actually heal you. And it's still that to this day. So everybody knew that. So when the water, you know how waves of water go to the sand and then it go back. So every time the water would get close to the land part of it, the sand part, everybody go run to the water to get healed. But this man was sick. He couldn't walk as fast. So the people would run over and skip him to the point where he'll never get to the water. That's what went through the parts we didn't read. We started at 6. So he says, Sir, I have no man, what?
When the water is troubled, to put me into the pool. But while I am coming, another stepping down before me.
Every time I try to get in there, they'll just skip me, man. The able-bodied people running in there faster than me.
Jesus saith unto him, Rise, take up thy bed and walk. And immediately the man was made whole, and took up his bed and walked. And on the same day was the Sabbath.
So he did this on the Sabbath day. He looked, don't even worry about that water. Just get up and walk. The man was healed on the spot. Jesus worked many miracles.
The Jews therefore said unto him that was cured, It is the Sabbath day. It is not lawful for thee to carry thy bed.
So these wicked Israelites out there seeing Jesus heal the man, they said it is unlawful for you to carry your bed. Why? It's the Sabbath day. They consider that work.
He answered them, He that made me whole, the same said unto me, Take up thy bed and walk.
So they seen the man walking. They ain't see Christ or nothing like that. They just seen him walk and try to check him over there. He's like, look, the man that healed me told me to get my bed and walk.
Then asked they him, What man is that which said unto thee, Take up thy bed and walk? And he that was healed was not who it was.
He didn't know who told him. He didn't know it was Christ. He just was talking to a man, told him to get up and walk, and the man healed. He didn't know it was Christ though.
But Jesus had conveyed himself away, a multitude being in that place.
So he wasn't there no more.
Afterward Jesus findeth him in the temple, and said unto him, Behold, thou art made whole. Sin no more.
So Christ seen him. The man went to the temple. That let you know what?
It's going to worship.
Exactly, but the man obviously was in the right state of mind. Because it's the what?
Sabbath day.
Sabbath day, he went there to praise the Lord, to learn the Bible, to fellowship. So he told them, behold, you made whole.
Sin no more. Lest the worst.
Sin causes what?
A death.
And what? Diseases. Remember we had that lesson? So a lot of people dealing with, we already talked about this, but a lot of people dealing with things because they out here not keeping the commandment. Now he letting them know, hey, I done healed you. You got a fresh start. Sin no more.
Lest the worst thing come unto thee.
That's what, you'll be even worse. You can have a cold, but if you keep doing what's wrong, what's a bigger disease than a cold?
Cancer.
Cancer. Anything. You keep on smoking them cigarettes, or you keep on whatever sexual transmitted disease, you keep on eating pork, whatever disease come with that type of stuff gonna come on to you. We supposed to be reading this? To 18.
So verse 15. The man departed and told the Jews that it was Jesus which had made him whole. And therefore did the Jews persecute Jesus and sought to slay him because he had done these things on the Sabbath day.
See how wicked these people is?
Yeah. Trying to kill Jesus.
Why?
Because he had told the man to get up and carry his bed.
But the point was, we just read, because what?
Yeah.
Because you out here healing people on the Sabbath day.
Wait, oh, that's the main?
They ain't got the proper understanding.
So they consider that work?
You see how stupid people is? They gonna do you that. Why you ain't at home on the Sabbath day? You supposed to be resting when you could be out there doing good for somebody else, helping your fellow brothers and sisters. Because Jesus ain't at home resting. One of the laws is to rest. But if you ain't resting and you doing good, you helping your brothers out, there ain't nothing wrong with that.
So we could go like feed the homeless or something on
Yeah, but guess what? It'll be a wicked Israelite out there that know the law. Because they know the law. They trying to hit him with a law, but they don't realize that they out of line for it.
Yeah.
Nah, you shouldn't be in the store buying goods on the Sabbath to feed the homeless. You should have already got that during the other 6 days of the week.
Verse 17. But Jesus answered them, my Father worketh hitherto, and I work.
God working, I'm working.
Therefore the Jews sought the more to kill him, because he not only had broken the Sabbath, but said also that God was his Father, making himself equal with God.
They don't know. They just all screwed up in here. So you can work hard for the Lord on the Sabbath day. It ain't about all resting as well. You can be out there doing good for others. Now you can do that every day of the week. But when the Sabbath comes, that don't mean you gotta just sit down and chill. You can actually do good and help others out.
The difference between working for God and working for your own gain.
Exactly. John chapter 6, 27. I'm gonna start with 27 through 35. Paul giving people instructions on how to work hard.
We have like 20 minutes.
Verse 27. John 6, verse 27. Labor not for the meat which perisheth, but for that meat which endureth unto everlasting life, which the Son of Man shall give unto you. For him that God the Father sealed.
So it ain't all about actual meat, because that meat spoil and rot. But he's saying labor for the meat that endureth unto everlasting life, this word. The Son of Man, Jesus gonna give you, and him the Father that sealed it, the Most High.
Then said they unto him, what shall we do, that we might work the works of God? Jesus answered them and said unto them, this is the work of God, that ye believe on him whom he hath sent.
So you first gotta believe, but it don't stop there.
They said therefore unto him, what sign showest thou then, that we may see, and believed it. What dost thou work?
So they want to see a sign. They want him to do some miraculous thing for them to believe. And don't people say that too? Some people don't believe till the sky roll back and they see a hand fall to say, I'm the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob.
Yeah, like that white kid.
31.
Our fathers did eat manna in the desert, as it is written. He gave them bread from heaven to eat.
We read that earlier, right?
Then Jesus said unto them, Verily, verily, I say unto you, Moses gave you not that bread from heaven, but my Father giveth you the true bread from heaven.
What is that bread? 33.
Manna.
For the bread of God is he which cometh down from heaven, and giveth life unto the world.
The word is the bread of heaven, and also Christ. For the bread of God is he. The bread of God is he. So we learning this level as far as the bread. Because Jesus was the word was God. Jesus is the word, the bread. He's the bread as well. He's actually the word written. He's the word in what?
Spiritual form.
In human form. At this time in the human form. In spiritual form. He's the word. He's literally all the right things that's written. He's a walking version of that. So he's he which come down from heaven
and giveth life unto the world. Then said they unto him, Lord, evermore give us this bread. And Jesus said unto them, I am the bread of life. He that cometh to me shall never hunger, and he that believeth on me shall never thirst. But I said unto you,
I'm trying to see what we're supposed to go to. 35.
yeah.
So you just picked up a whole nother understanding. We should have already known that he is
Lesson on that.
the bread of life.
So it's showing you basically, he gave an example of the Old Testament, but that was a symbol of something to come later. But them getting that manna from heaven, he basically saying, I gave, just like in the New Testament, the manna was Christ this time. They didn't, which they knew not. They didn't know Christ. They didn't know what Christ was teaching. He was teaching repentance to the Gentiles, which was who? Who's the Gentiles? In the New Testament?
Israelites.
Israelites that were scattered. He was teaching them to bring them back into the fold. So that's why they kept it. A lot of them was still, like I said, they were trying to, they knew the law, but they didn't understand the law like that. They were trying to, they didn't realize it was more to than that true understanding. That's why Christ came.
So are the Gentiles just the sleep Israelites?
It's two different, it's different instances. So when the Lord was talking to the Israelites in the Old Testament, he was talking about don't be doing what the Gentiles do. He's talking about the other nations. It's a heathen. That's also another word for heathen. But then when we broke off, the kingdoms were split. We started following these other gods. We got scattered, and now we're among these heathens. And guess what we're doing at that point? We're picking up what?
The beast.
Picking up their ways. They're picking up their ways and customs, therefore making you a Gentile. Because you're living like a Gentile.
Yeah.
So we're going to go to Acts 20,
33.
33 through 37. Paul giving the people instructions on hard work. 33 to 37.
So
This is Paul talking.
Acts chapter 20, verse 33. I have coveted no man's silver or gold or apparel.
With his covenant.
One.
Yeah, he said, I ain't out here trying to get with another man got his gold, silver, apparel.
Yea, ye yourselves know that these hands have ministered unto my necessities, and to them that were with me.
Hold on, he's saying these hands, what do hands do?
Work.
Right, my own hands have ministered unto my necessities, meaning I work for everything I got. And to them that were what?
That were
With me.
Because we just read that he saw somebody that was with his same occupation and they clicked up. So what was his occupation?
Tent making.
So it was he like, hey, y'all know my hands can testify the tents I made got me everything I got on me. I ain't know what.
Freeloader.
Freeloader.
Oh yeah.
Slop.
Somebody always do this.
Beggar.
Beggar.
Oh yeah.
You don't see me on the side of the road and I ain't passing no what? No plate around. Asking for no donation every 5 minutes. Or every time y'all see me. Y'all got your own kid. And they got people that actually need stuff they can't do for themselves. 34.
Yea, ye yourselves know that these hands have ministered unto my necessities and to them that were with me. I have showed you all things, how that so laboring ye ought to support the weak, and to remember the words of the Lord Jesus, how he said, it is more blessed to give than to receive.
So he said, I showed you in all things how that so laboring you ought to support who?
The weak.
What is the example of the weak?
Like orphans.
Great
widows,
example. Widows. Who else is weak?
Kids.
Kids,
Disabled.
elderly,
Oh yeah.
disabled. All of these are great answers. Those are the ones that we should be supporting. We shouldn't be supporting our 30-year-old little brother. This nigga is, excuse me, this boy in his right mind can run faster than you, jump higher than you. Like literally, you just go get a job, man. Get out your mama house, man. Who else? Who else out there like that?
President.
Oh yeah.
I'm just thinking of situations where we got able-minded people that's being supported by other able-minded people. The government. That what you said?
Yeah. I hate that. It's
Yeah, I wasn't in the word. Yeah, what is it called?
Taxes.
Assistance.
No,
Welfare.
welfare, man. Able-minded people that don't want to work because they know if they do what? Stay in a certain what? Income range, that all their needs will be met by our tax dollars.
Yeah.
This is stupid, man. Get out and work, man. Don't talk about it. It's some people that say, man, I wish I could find one. No. Get out there and find a job, man.
It's supposed to be temporary.
It's odds, man. If you knock on 100, if you fill out 100 applications, 5 of them might call you back. But guess what? If you sit around and say, I wish all day, how many people gonna call you back?
None.
0, man. You got a lot of able-bodied people, man, that's riding the coattails of other able-bodied people. And what happens to those people? The people that's helping out other people, what eventually happens to them?
They'll get
Tired.
They can burn it out.
They'll burn out and do what?
Start doing the same thing.
No, they'll lose what they got.
Oh yeah.
If I got $100 and you keep getting 50 from me all the time, or 10 from me all the time, it's gonna be the point I ain't gonna have nothing.
Yeah.
And I got kids. It ain't about me, because ain't nobody getting money out of my pocket. But the point is, if they was doing that, I wouldn't have nothing. I wouldn't be able to take care of myself. It's like you putting a hole in a boat, now we all sink. 30, we're supposed to be reading to 37.
Verse 36. And when he had thus spoken, he kneeled down and prayed with them all. And they all wept sore and fell on Paul's neck and kissed him.
So, and that's another thing in the church. Everybody putting their money together. These people, where I'm from, already poor. And they keep coming every week. They pass their plate around 3 times. They got tithes. They got, what's the Sunday school.
And building fund.
Building, like, man, we already in the hood. Now you ride out with the bag. You literally go home. Then they got the pastor invite another pastor over to his church. And they have a plate for him. In the middle of the ghetto. That's why they got how many churches in the ghetto?
Like
Many of them.
Every street they got like
Oh, yeah.
5 of them, man. You hit the next street, it's 5.
like all lined up.
So y'all all stuck in that same low income position because y'all giving this man all y'all money. And he's straight.
With the guilt trip.
We got literally people that ain't got nothing. We got widows. We got old elderly people taking their money that they done saved up. The little money that the Social Security money that they get when you turn 65. Giving it over to this able-bodied man. This is crazy, y'all. So let's move on. I'm getting wild up. 1 Corinthians, verse 4, 12 through 14. Who was the Corinthians?
The Israelites in Perea.
2 verses. 1 Corinthians 4. And we touching on a lot of good stuff, man, because this stuff ain't right, y'all. This ain't right. These people that's doing that, talking about the churches and the freeloaders and the beggars, y'all all need to be hearing this, man. How many times we pass up people at the red light? Fools be having a fresh cut, muscles. Man, I'm looking at them like, you in better shape than me. Why you out here and they got a Wendy's, a McDonald's, a Shell on the same corner? You got a free place to stay. You right under the bridge, right under 35. Take that money, get you a t-shirt and go clock in, man. You been staying outside all this long. You just grind it out for a whole nother week. You have rent money. You wouldn't have to beg. They got an apartment right up the street from Shell. You don't need a car. You out the heat. You can work at one of these fast food places. Now you got free food. Everybody know they be eating back there. And then on their lunch break. I'm telling the truth. I done worked at McDonald's. Y'all know how all y'all done had a fast food job for, man. You eating back there, and when it's time on your lunch break, you eating.
And you take some home.
And you take something. Like,
Yeah, my
you
mom
going
did that.
too far.
My mom did that.
Bush is not
If you on the
right.
closing ship, you do take some home, man. Shit, we used to go in the deep freeze and get some nuggets, bring that whole frozen. But that was in the past. 1 Corinthians 4. The point is, you ain't gotta beg. 4, 12 through 14.
And
This is Paul again. Paul talked to all those different Israelites all over the place. Now he talking to Corinth now.
1 Corinthians 4 verse 12. And labor, working with our own hands. Being reviled, we bless. Being persecuted, we suffer.
Why is he saying the same thing?
Like,
Not that. Why is he telling these people we working with our own hands, labor and working with our own hands?
So we won't be lazy.
He was talking to Acts.
oh, he's talking
People
to us.
in another area.
He's
Now
talking-
he wrote a letter to the people in Corinth.
Yeah. Like different people.
It's different people, but he telling them the same thing, the same law.
Yeah.
That's why when you read Thessalonians, you work with your own hand. When you read Corinth, work with your own hand. When you read Acts, work with your own hand.
Is that a law?
Yes. He ain't making up nothing. This ain't another, he's not creating another religion. No, I'm just letting y'all know. He's reading the Old Testament, telling these people that scattered way over here with these heathens what to do. So 12,
What exactly does work with your own hands mean?
we've been talking about beggars and freeloaders.
Okay.
So work with your own hand.
Don't have somebody else doing the work for you.
Yeah, don't depend on somebody.
It's
'Cause-
like, it's like what's called an analogy or kind of
Same.
4 times the same. And because it's basically like he's showing you how to work within your congregation with your people, because he knows what's gonna happen if you don't work with your own hands. What's gonna happen? Say us all the men here, we working together on a mission or whatever. We trying to get something accomplished. But only 2 of us really doing the work. The other ones want to just get the reward of the work, but they ain't doing none of the work.
Yeah.
Then what's gonna happen? The ones that is doing the work gonna do what? They gonna be mad about it.
They gonna quit doing what?
It's
they gonna stop working. Then it's gonna cause strife. Then it adds sin to the situation. So if everybody putting in work and trying to do something, whether he may be good at something and I may not be as good at it. So instead of doing that, I'm gonna do something else that I'm good at.
He may be a painter.
I
may be a carpenter.
But we all contributing something. You ain't just sitting around and just, all right, well, I'm gonna come back when everything done and then get the reward of it. No, because then it's gonna be envy and strife. People gonna be mad at you.
They got people that do that.
And then that may cause another brother to sin. You know?
I don't want to do nothing.
Because he didn't want to do what he's supposed to. Now I gotta fight him.
I don't want to do nothing. The person that's doing everything don't even want to. He don't even come around no more. We got half the work done just sitting up there.
I just want y'all to explain to the boys.
Yeah.
But that's true. I mean, this is why the Bible gives you it gives you game on how to get through life. Cause it's certain things like in school, y'all gonna have group assignments in school.
Oh yeah.
And it's gonna be one, maybe two people in the group that ain't gonna want to do no work in the group. They gonna expect somebody
put their
else
name on the paper.
They just gonna write their name and get the A with you. But you like, nah, you gonna do something. You gotta do something to get this A. Otherwise, I'm gonna let the teacher know you ain't done that.
When it's time to do the presentation, who gonna want to stand up there? The one that ain't did nothing gonna want to do all the talking.
And be like,
But
y'all gonna have to experience that.
I know.
So you shouldn't be that person.
And don't let them do it.
It goes all the way to work too. I still work in a team, and if one person don't do their weight, I gotta do it. And you think I don't like that person? That's not my favorite person. I gotta do their work and my work.
But think of this. First of all, we gotta think of this on a Israelite biblical level. Find your skill to help us out. Find your skill to help the other Israelites that don't know they Israel out. And bring them into the fold.
And that does work because on my team, the two Israelites on our team got promoted last year. It was me and another lady. And we were the ones always volunteering to work on any project. And then the people were mad. And we're like, y'all didn't put in the work. We worked all year trying to, build our reputation on the team. So it works. God knows what he's talking about.
So we still here, but 12 through 14, read it again.
So in labor, working with our own hands, being reviled, we bless. Being persecuted, we suffer. Being defamed, we entreat. We are made as the filth of the world and are the offspring of all things unto this day. So even though you might be doing what was right, you still get persecuted. You still be like how I don't know if you just said that, but somebody else might get the job. Somebody else might get the position. It didn't happen to me before. I'm doing all the labor. We got a girl on our shift, but she just write in the logbook all the things we do. So when the next shift come in, they just see her handwriting on everything, but they don't know she ain't do none of that. So they talking about us like a dog, and they end up getting the position. So we the filth of the world. We are the offspring of all things, even unto this day. I write not these things to shame you, but as my beloved sons, I warn you. So he writing this to warn y'all. So if it happened to you, know that you are fitting the curses. You are fitting. That lets you know who you are in the Bible. But look, don't be freeloaders.
Yeah.
Don't be beggars. Don't be giving your money to able-bodied people. Help the people that God told you to help. The widows, the sick, the shut-in, the elders. The people that can't do for themselves. The people with disabilities. Israelites. The other nations, they take care of themselves. They take care of their people.
Yeah.
So that was, it says work hard but don't expect recognition. We're going to read 15, 1 Corinthians 15 and verse 58. We ain't got too more to go. These are short verses. Therefore, my beloved brethren, be ye steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord. For as much as you know that your labor is not in vain in the Lord. So first of all, we doing this work for not for our own recognition or pump our head up. We doing this work for who? This is all for the Lord. Man.
Yeah.
Find your skill, use it, do the best you can in it, and you're doing this for the Lord. Do it as if you're doing for the Lord. Don't be tired. Say be steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord. Even if y'all just right now, y'all little kids should be learning the Bible. So when you get to an age where you could be putting this to learn your skill for the Lord, you know how to use it. But you first got to know the word. Colossians 3:21 through 25. Who is this in Colossians, verse 1?
The Israelite.
Paul.
Paul, an apostle of Jesus Christ by the will of God, and Timothy is our brother.
So this is Paul and Timothy. And who he write to, verse 2?
To the saints and faithful brethren in Christ, which are at Colossae.
So that's proof. It's a letter. He's talking, gonna tell them about working hard. So 3:21 through 25. I don't know how this Bible was so confusing all this time, man. Like, this is weird. Like, he's saying the same things. It's clear. He explains to you in the chapter 1 who he is, who he's talking to, saying the same thing. This is crazy, man. How we screw this up? The Lord literally blind us. When you sin, it's just gonna be like gibberish to us, man.
Colossians chapter 3, verse 21. Fathers,
Go
provoke
to 20. Go to 22. Excuse me.
Colossians 3, verse 20. Children, obey your parents in all things, for this is well pleasing unto the Lord.
In all things. Now, if your mama tell you to jump off a bridge, don't be stupid enough to do that. But your mother, we living in a wicked time now where women wouldn't, well, not women, but parents wouldn't even say nothing like that. But everybody know your parent have your child what? Best interest in mind. Your mama ain't telling you to do something just to be telling you to do it. Children, y'all young, y'all don't, sometimes y'all be wanting to say, well, why y'all want me to, why I gotta do it? She's smarter than you. That's how God is. God ain't gotta explain everything to her. He on a whole nother level, man. If he tell us to do it, it's obviously it's the right thing to do. So 20 again.
Children, obey your parents in all things, for this is well pleasing unto the Lord.
Do what she say, man.
Fathers, provoke not your children to anger, lest they be discouraged.
Fathers, don't be sitting up there picking on your son. They get discouraged. They're children. They're weaker. They're a weaker vessel. For example, this is an example. Me and Corn playing UFC. I'm talking cash money to him. I'm literally provoking him to anger in the game. This was just this morning. We was arguing for about 2 hours, man. We wouldn't let it go.
Tell him to be quiet.
Like, it got real enough. He want to play on easy mode. I'm like, man, look, that's the retarded
Larry,
mode.
don't lie on Corn.
Oh, no.
Normal.
No, excuse me. Normal mode. Grown men don't play on normal. He was whooping me all day on normal. Soon as we put that thing on difficulty, I'm eating them up. And I'm making little songs, talking noise to them. Fathers,
Provoke
not your children to anger. He could have laid up and stabbed me in the back or something. Could have literally, like, they got some crazy kids out there.
He was mad for real.
Could that be mothers too?
Yeah.
Oh, it's bad. I got
Because I definitely provoke you.
You didn't even tell me to raise up a
Y'all know this is on a silly level I'm talking about. But there's really they got people that call their kids stupid, slow, you idiot, you know, all the time. And you beating that kid's spirit down like that. You discouraging. We supposed to uplift these kids. They're already in a society where they gonna get it when they get older. And they young right now. Let them live. Let them enjoy that little innocence they got. Don't be beating them down. Because it's grown people that y'all see right now that's crazy. Why are they crazy? Growing up, they was going through all kinds of stuff as a kid, man.
Told they weren't worth anything.
Raped, beat up, just picked on for no reason. You remind me of your mama, you remind me of your daddy, them type of people, man. You ain't gonna be nothing, you gonna be just like such and such. So don't provoke your kid to anger, lest they be discouraged. 22.
Servants, obey in all things your masters according to the flesh, not with eye service as men pleasers, but in singleness of heart, fearing God.
We know this is black people because they used to read us this. Servants, obey your masters. This ain't really talking about slavery. Masters is the person that's over you. It could be at your job, because your boss at your job is trying to tell you what to do is right? Mm-hmm. He got somebody to hire up that's sending something down the line to him. Everybody got somebody that's over them. I got somebody that's over me. Everybody. Christ has somebody that's over him. And that's what we're talking about. We're talking about religion too. Your masters as far as your person that's over you. Because I ain't telling y'all nothing out of my own word. I'm reading the Bible. I'm telling you what was right according to the Bible and y'all supposed to do. Somebody over me pulling out some scriptures that I didn't know. I got to obey that master. That person that's telling me what's right according to the Bible. So it all starts with religion, but y'all can take it to y'all day-to-day life other than religion as well.
Are these all laws too?
Yeah.
This is called the book of what?
Oh.
The book of the law, right? Everything in the Bible is pretty much, he giving you instructions, like any type of instruction from God is a law.
There's precepts in the Old Testament on this.
Exactly. But I want to go over, what does it mean it says now with eye service as men pleasers, but in singleness of heart fearing God? What's that mean? Anybody?
Eye service.
Wait, which one is it?
This is where it says in verse 22, when he says, servants obey in all things your masters according to the flesh, right? Mm-hmm. But it says, not with eye service as men pleasers, but in singleness of heart, fearing God.
In closed doors, not all out in the public.
Exactly. That's good what you're saying. Because remember, there's another verse when we talked about praying, right? And talking about how to don't do as the heathen do. They want to do it out in public to be seen of people. You just trying to be out up in the boss face. Oh look, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. You trying to make yourself look good.
Every time the boss comes around,
now you want to show up and start working. But when you gone, you ain't doing nothing you're supposed to be doing. It says, look, you need to have a singleness in your heart fearing God. Basically, so for example, like Alicia, when she's at work, she's very good about doing her job, going above and beyond, which I'm sure many of us do at our jobs, right? But like it said in the previous ones, you're not going to always get the recognition for it, right? Or they may overlook you. They're not seeing all the stuff you're doing. But guess who? You're not working for them. It says you fearing God. You're working for God at the end of the day. So in the singleness of heart, just do your job, do it right. Don't be just only doing your job when the boss come around and just want to look and see, and just show that you're doing something. No, just do it all the time. Yeah. The good gonna come to you. The Lord gonna look after you. Don't even worry about that.
24 gonna say that. Read that.
It says, knowing that of the Lord, ye shall receive the reward of the inheritance when ye serve the Lord Christ.
So you're gonna receive your reward, man.
So guess what? When we go to work every day, yeah, you got a boss, but you got to hire a spiritual boss. The Lord is who you work for. I work for God. I don't work for nobody else. So I be having to tell young brothers at the job myself, hey man, I ain't trying to do it, man. They working us hard, man. I ain't trying to do all this. I ain't gonna do that. I'm gonna chill. Look, man, and they'll come to me, man. Why you doing all this work? I be running back and forth like I'm just doing everything, cause I'm at the end of the day. I'm like, look, man, I work for God, man. So yeah, I can easily slack off and be like, yeah, I ain't doing all this. I'm gonna just chill and just clock in today. I ain't gonna do too much. But why? Do your job the right way, work hard. Lord gonna reward you for that.
even the lazy people gonna testify his work.
They gonna be like, man.
He gonna be the first one to get a raise. Who the boss might come in, who should we hire to do something? Even a lazy person would be like, man, Phill, hey, that boy be doing like they ain't gonna have nothing bad to say about this boy. Ain't no talk behind they boss, because the people do go to your bosses and tell people whether you know.
never know who looking at you. I can attest to that.
Yeah. Such and such always sitting down, Steve. He be leaving when you be gone. Next thing you know, he out the door. Y'all don't know that.
Somebody's eyes is always on. Remember, the Lord said He see everything, because the Lord is using everybody else. That's why. He can have somebody walking by your area and you don't even know. You don't know who this person is. They just walking by checking you
That's
out.
a regional manager. That's in for the day.
You over there bull BS and not doing your job, and you thinking, oh, I don't know who this person is. They don't work with me. And then your boss call you into a meeting. Come in. Yeah, such and such told me they saw you doing what? Oh, yeah, they saw you doing it. You was on ESPN. You should have been doing your job. Oh, man. Well, look, we're going to have to cut you, man. You got to go. Because guess what? The only time you wanted to work was
eye service.
You wasn't doing this in the singleness of heart. Basically, just having having integrity about yourself.
So verse 25, read that for me.
It says, but he that doeth wrong shall receive for the wrong which he hath done, and there is no respect of persons.
Hey, the Lord don't care who you is. If you're doing wrong, you're going to get the wrong for what you've done. Meaning, you could be the head Israelite, or you could be on the low end of the pole. Don't matter. You're going to get what you get. So we got, go ahead with you.
And it goes back to also when he says you're gonna basically be punished for the wrongdoing. It may not be right away all the time. Some people think when they get away with something at one point, they're like, oh man, I keep doing that. It's gonna catch up with you eventually. Keep doing wrong.
2 more verses. We're gonna do Hebrew 6 and 10. It's New Testament called Hebrew.
The book of Hebrews chapter 6 verse 10.
Work hard, y'all. Work for the Lord. Work for your family. Work for your kid. Don't be lazy. Help out your little sisters, your little brothers, your mothers.
Hebrews chapter 6 verse 10. For God is not unrighteous to forget your work and labor of love, which ye have showed toward his name, and that ye administer to the saints and do minister.
So he don't forget, man. He see it. You gonna get your reward. If y'all out here helping the sick, the needy, the elderly, doing what's right, he ain't gonna forget your work. You'll get it. You ain't always gotta wait till you get to heaven to get your reward, man. You'll get it now. We prospering now, whether you know it or not.
But on another note, don't just be doing things just because you're trying to see some type of earthly reward, man. We gotta remember the way we're renewing our mind is we're not doing things just for the gain of ourselves all the time. You're just doing it just because you're supposed to do. You're supposed to do good. Yeah. It says it's better to give than to receive. You shouldn't always be looking for something back when you do something right.
Hey, you help somebody out, don't be expecting.
You know what I'm saying? Like you do something for somebody, like, yeah, let me pay you. Nah, man, you ain't gotta pay me, man. I'm good. That shows more right there. You like, man, I didn't do that for your money.
It's some people that say stuff like, man, I didn't help this person out. I be helping that person. I do this. I don't never get no help. Like they'll actually start saying stuff like that. Like, man, look, that means you getting something big when the time comes. Yeah. Especially on the other side. I don't want my to be paid back like right now. I want to get it in the kingdom as far as helping other people out and stuff. But you going to be in a time of need one time, and guess what? Somebody going to come out for you. 1 Timothy chapter 4, this is the last verse, 8 through 10.
1 Timothy 4, verse 8. For bodily exercise profiteth little, but godliness is profitable unto all things, having promise of the life that now is, and of that which is to come. This is a faithful saying and worthy of all acceptation. For therefore, we both labor and suffer reproach, because we trust in the living God, who is the Savior of all men, especially of those that believe.
So, hey, exercise your body, profit a little bit. This body gonna die anyway. But godliness profits in all things, because you're gonna get the life. When the Savior come and give everlasting life, you shall receive that. So, hey, at the end of the day, work hard, stay humble, keep God first, help build up the kingdom. Shalom.
Okay. That was a nice lesson.